The Trump administration just appeared in front of the Federal Court of Appeals to argue that a district court decision that blocked all tariffs that have been imposed by the government since the beginning of the term should be overturned. Now, here's generally what's being discussed. The power to impose tariffs is written in the Constitution as a power of Congress. It belongs to Congress, but Congress extended a few examples where they would allow the president to impose tariffs on his own without their explicit approval in certain emergency situations. And so in this case, the president essentially said, okay, this is an emergency and this is an emergency, so I'm going to impose tariffs for both of those to fix those emergencies. And one of the big questions here is whether or not these emergency powers are supposed to be read broadly or read really narrowly, which means, broadly means anything that would fall under the definition, any reading of this law is okay. Narrowly means only a very, very explicit reading of this law is okay. And usually emergency powers should be read narrowly, but we'll see. There are also two sets of tariffs that were imposed here. One, there were tariffs that were put against Canada, Mexico, and China, and that had to do with certain substances and people getting across the border, and the president said that that was an emergency, and so he imposed tariffs to stop that emergency, and that's going to be one discussion. And then there's another set of tariffs that has to do with trade imbalances. And the president said that was also an emergency. And so he imposed tariffs against essentially every country in the world because we had trade imbalances. And the problem, as was said in the lower court, is that there is a separate law for tariffs on trade imbalances. And so you're not supposed to use the emergency law for that, according to the court and according, what's being discussed. But the president went ahead and did it anyway. So the question is, can he do that or not? And so the lower court said no, and we'll see what the Court of Appeals says. And then there's going to be this whole other discussion about these tariffs that were set on China, Mexico, and Canada. And it's a completely different discussion. It's about whether or not the solution that he came up with, putting in tariffs, actually solves the problem that he was trying to solve. That's the argument being made. And the argument in the lower court was that it does not, because what it does is it orders someone else to fix the problem, which is not what the court said you're supposed to do with these powers. He essentially ordered Canada, for example, to fix this problem and used a tariff to order them to do it. But the tariff is supposed to directly fix the problem, and that's why he's given that power. Now, again, we're going to see, that's what the district court said, or the lower court said. We'll see what the Court of Appeals says. But in the discussions today in open court, the Court of Appeals did not seem very open to the discussions of the government. So it was kind of a chilly response. We will see what they actually do when they give us an answer.